There we go. Holy shit. Okay, so I'm recording this episode kind of on a whim. Oh man, it's already 7:42 p.m. where I live. And yeah, so I got done with classes today and I decided to come home and I decided to come home and get out the old guitar like I do most days, but uh most days I find myself happy with my particular skill set. I'll practice if I want to learn or improve something in particular. So I don't play for 2+ hours very often anymore. But today was an exception. I usually play like 30 to 45 minutes every day, right? And then there are other times I only play 10, 20 minutes, But I try to practice every day. And I've been weighing a lot of piano playing into my life because, the university offers pianos and whatnot. And, like, genuinely, I'm having a pretty good time musically. That being said, everything else is kind of I don't know. Everything else is kind of shifting. I'm a big adjustment guy. But I mean, yeah, everything's shifting. I'm changing majors from English education to English, and I mean, I'm really excited for that because I'd love to be a technical writer. I looked up like because I'm not really interested in journalism. I think a lot of journalism is faux journalism now. I think journalism. I haven't really talked about journalism, but most of the things I read, I'm not a big fiction reader. So like most of my reading is done through Wikipedia or reading scholarly articles or like watching video essay or that's not reading, but yeah, I don't really read fiction. And the news I feel before the news was heavily politicized. I mean, the news has always been sort of political, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like Watergate. It's either Watergate or 9/11 that really like politicized news away from being mostly like to the point of trying to deliver the facts and evidence, and it became more a political game of who can score more points for their given outlet, right? And demean the other side. Um so I mean, I would have loved to have been a journalist in that, like, I don't know, I feel like I'd like to be a wartime journalist, but I mean, I'd have to enlist for the military, and that's a struggle in and of itself. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to be a wartime journalist because I am war fast. I was gonna say I like war, but I don't like war. I think war is awful, but because it is an inevitability. Um, I like I'm fascinated by it. Like things revolving war, less now. So I guess that would be a deterrent of itself. But um, wartime really fascinates me, and all the like machinery we develop like that really fascinates me. But other than that, because the things involving warfare would require me to enlist in the military, I have no desire to partake in the media jerk fest that is politics, especially in an election year. So, I mean, I see a lot of technical writing abilities, or the ability to become a technical writer with like an English major, and I mean, I would love that. I would love to do technical writing. I mean, it's tricky with AI becoming so advanced, but I mean, there still is a high demand for people, you know. So, yeah, just genuinely, I would love, love, love to do technical writing for a company or something. Not for a company. You know what I mean. I'd like to get paid to do writing, and that's my favorite part of college so far. Is I love writing. You know, like I had this big huge essay thing I did for my composition class, and then I did an essay on Sylvia Plath's Metaphors poem about pregnancy, and I really like it, and I love all the short written assignments that my literature professor has us do it's very nice. I enjoy writing. And I have reason to write. Back when it was like quote unquote summertime, when I was writing, I didn't have very much to write about because, well, I had no one to market my writing to. So I did like these like journal things that were really weird, but I mean, it wasn't like, when I say journal things, I mean, it was like kind of like monitoring how I felt and everything. Because I want to be able to go back to that, or I want people to have access to those things in case something happens. I want people to be able to get into my mind after I'm dead. I don't want people in my mind while I'm alive. I mean, I give people glimpses and pieces of that with my music, but other than that, I would rather the things in my head stay in my head, lest someone seeks me out for information. That's different. I love spreading information, but yeah, I wasn't a fan of my education course, and like it was really bad. I don't care about any of that shit. And like, quite frankly, my digital footprint is awful. I could never be a teacher long standing. I could be a substitute teacher, but yeah, being an actual like established teacher, that would be terrible. For me, it would be a bigger hindrance than a help. But yeah, so that's the plan. But back to the whole music thing. I recorded an album today. It's all longer songs. It's four songs, but it's gonna be like 50 minutes. It was an idea. It's an idea I've had for a while. Um, I don't think they're super high quality recordings, so I'll probably do some stylistic changes to the mixing. I'll put it all together, but it's definitely an interesting piece of music, or an interesting collection of musics. So, I mean, I'm excited for that to come out. I'm excited for the music I have on the wayside to come out in the near future, because I mean, Dog didn't get really good reactions, but people have said good things about Dog, and I really admire that. I'm very glad that there are people out there that can access my music and like it. It's like Tales from Apocrypha there. The one song got like 92 views, and in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot, but for me, it is a lot. Someone that I don't really market myself, so when I see people coming back to my music and coming back and enjoying my music, it's very nice. It's a very nice feeling. It's very rewarding in its own aspect, and I try not to huck my music to my friends or anything, or like force them to listen to anything new that comes out, because well, like, that takes away from the experience in a lot of ways, because anybody that knows me is going to support my shit, regardless, even if they don't like it. And like, I have some friends that don't listen to my music and they're honest about it. And that's, I wouldn't say that's nice, but it's definitely refreshing to know that I have people that can do that kind of thing, like, in my life. And but yeah. So I don't know what the reactions to my new music is gonna be. There's a lot of weirdness in it. Um, there's a lot of things about my new music I have questions for on its reception and how it will be received. But I mean, that's for when that comes. When that actually becomes a topic. My new music, I can talk about it. But Dog was what received, and I thought Dog was going to be like heavily shit on. I find myself becoming more concerned with mixing and whatnot, and like the low fidelity sound. The low fidelity sound is something that's, I mean, it's not unique to me, but it's the low fidelity sound that belongs to my music. It definitely is very raw. Like, you hear the clicks from the pick tapping on the strings. Like, that's definitely a sonic choice, and it's very hard to get out of the mix if you're not like actually miking an amp, which I don't currently have the capability of doing. But I mean, all that exists, right? Like, all the music that exists out there, like, I would say grand portion doesn't have that low fidelity sound because people don't want to be perceived in a negative light through their art, because making music is a lot of work. Even if you're a fucking minimalist like me, like I I don't like the idea of people like saying that all my music sounds the same, or that like I don't try at all. Like I know there are things I don't try very hard on, and that's, I mean, that's just an inevitable truth. However, when it comes to actually like writing the riffs and writing the songs and singing and everything, I've been getting a little bolder with my vocals. I've been using a lot of falsetto and whatnot. So, um, I'm going to consult Jacob Andrews, my dear friend. I'm going to consult him for mixing of the new songs, because as it stands, if I mix them, it won't nearly abridge the quality that he can mix them with. And with due diligence, he is a very very good. He's very good at what he does. We are not always in agreement for things that for the overall sonic preferences. I prefer things to be a little more on the trebly end. Unless the song uses a lot of high notes, then I try to mellow out the high notes so they don't stick out like a sore thumb and become an ear sore. But I mean, that aside, he does everything right from what I know, and I mean that's all I can ask for. And he doesn't ask anything of me, which is astonishing. Yeah, he very selflessly puts him through the mixing process of my songs, even if they're my songs. So I mean, if that can happen, that would be incredible. He was gonna mix the one demo series of Great War demos, and those songs didn't turn out as good as I'd like them to. It was a good idea, but I'll just release that on Armistice Day and label it as a scrapped concept album, the early ideas. Um, but like when it comes to actually writing songs about World War One, I write better poetry than I write you fucking like I write better poetry than I write songs about the whole thing. And I mean that's a thing entirely all on its own. That's another topic, but yeah. And I mean I like a lot of the instrumentals I put behind some of those songs. I think the capo and the open D tuning, two kind of like unique things for my music. Like I've used open D before, obviously, but like I don't know, putting a whole album in open D, um, it definitely like it definitely changed it changed the compositions a lot. And I mean I think a lot of it's for the better. Like you can hear it. It's it's definitely unique for my music, and that's okay. I don't think people are gonna listen to it and be like, yeah, I'm gonna come back to that. I don't even think people are gonna listen to it. I kind of hope they don't, because nothing's really that great on it. Like even the songs I do like, even the song I do like, the one song I do like, Stormtroop Hellraisers. It's still a little rough on the edges, even for a Cascade song. So I mean, there's that. Um, yeah, I'm going back to the demo format. Like I don't know, where I'm not trying to achieve like entirely cohesive sounds, because I mean I have cohesive albums and I have uncohesive albums. My music isn't my music isn't commercial. And by putting things into albums like I've been doing recently, and I already have some of the albums put together, so this is kind of unavoidable for the time being. By putting them into albums, it tries to huck itself as like a legitimate piece of like musical craft. And like my music isn't that goes against the very fabric of what I'm trying to achieve with my music. So I mean I'm still going to name these compilations of demo tapes. The Archive 3 will probably be out at some point, but yeah, I want all the recordings serviceable. Of course, I want them serviceable, listenable, but I want to commission them as like they're all a part of their own entities and not trying to add up to an album. If I come up with a concept for an album like that World War I example, I mean I could probably put that together, but like that's what the earliest like Alexander Zilman and fucking Crestfallen. They weren't albums per se. They were songs I had written. I made various versions of these songs in Crestfallen's case, and what I did is I put pre-recorded demos behind them, and it led to the overall unit that is those albums. And I mean, I'm glad I shifted to the format I had been using for a while, because I mean I got the white album and the black album out of that. But when it comes to like when it comes to my music now, it's I'm I've completely rejected trying to become big as a musician. And I've completely rejected the idea of trying to put as much out as I can for some fucking stupid for some stupid merit unto myself or length. I'm trying to try new things, and like this is the fuck up phase right here where like I'm I'm starting to focus less on perfection and putting ideas to paper that I hadn't done before. Like the whole long song idea, like I have some really long songs in my discography, but um like it's very few and far between, and these recordings are less perfect than other recordings before. Not that my like performances before on the earlier long songs is perfect. It's just like they're safer, and when I say safer, I mean there's not a lot said. There's a lot of instrumental, but I mean these new songs that are recorded today, they have things like unique lyrics or like unique ideas and unique things to explore. Like I mean there's songs about all sorts of, or there's only four songs, so I mean there's a song about uh humanity reaching out into space and like the government hiding things from you, or like the potential that the government could hide things from you. Adversely, there's a song about, I'm trying to remember what, there's a song about like how I can kind of give myself some sort of like joy through other people being happy around me, because I can't really make happiness for myself. I can't synthesize it. Like my goals, to me, the joy I get from accomplishing my own goals doesn't last long enough for it to be a permanently attainable thing. I like seeing my friends happy, and that's all that matters to me. If I fucking fall flat, as long as I'm supporting myself and I'm staying up to date with my knowledge and making sure like I retain this information. I don't want to be one of those old people that's like, oh, I used to do this. No, it's like if someone were to bring up aviation or something in public and I'm in my fucking 60s, I want to be able to talk about like aircraft. I went to the Buffalo, or not the Buffalo. I did go to the Buffalo Naval Park not too long ago. Or no, I think that was over a year now. Holy shit, that's crazy. But I went to the Buffalo Naval Park. But I went to there's a World War II museum that it's local. It's really fucking cool. And me and the guy that was there, we talked about aviation and shit, and he knew a lot of really cool things, like things I didn't even know. Yeah, I mean it was really cool, and then going around reading. What's really weird is like reading all the signs in the different languages and everything. I think it's really interesting, and then I mean, just the log of German armor, the log of fucking planes of various nations. Like there were models of various planes and shit. And then there was like a plaque. I think the word is, there was a plaque covered in American aircraft models, just pointing out what they were. That was really fucking cool. And yeah, I mean that's really awesome. So, in Chesapeake, Virginia, they have a battleship. I think it's Chesapeake. Yeah, somewhere in that area they have a battle station, or not battle station. They have a battleship, and I want to go on it someday. That'd be really cool. I want to go to a battle. I want to be on a battleship at least once before I die. You know, I've been on aircraft carriers, I've been on light cruisers, I've been on destroyers, and I've been on submarines. I'd like to be on a PT boat someday. I'd like to be on a heavy cruiser. I don't. Do they have the USS Boston somewhere? The first like guided missile cruiser or whatever. It's CAG. Um, is the USS Little Rock CLG because it was a light cruiser before it was recommissioned into a fucking guided. You see, I don't know those things. Um, the whole missile era thing is out of my it's out of my realm of expertise because I love everything from like 1890 on for like ships. And I mean, I like some of the ironclads too, like the Monitor. The Monitor was the United States one, and yeah, it was the Monitor, and I think it was the Virginia. Was it the Virginia? Damn it, I can't remember. The name of the Confederate one. I guess I have a hard time remembering things related to losers. I guess. Yeah, fuck the Confederacy. That's so sad that it's so sad that that's what humanity had come to a point. But yeah. So yeah, I mean those are the plans. I forgot generally what I was talking about. Oh, I'm lightheaded. But yeah, I only have one class tomorrow. I'm gonna come home and just fucking relax, dude. I want to relax so bad. I want to play video games. I know that sounds like really loser like of me, but I mean, like aside from here and there, I'm not really playing video games much recently. I'm gonna play Hearts of Iron 4. I haven't played Hearts of Iron 4 in like a fortnight, dude. It's fucking insane. Oh, I saw Łukasz Tchaikovsky. I think that's how you say that, Łukasz Tchaikovsky. But I saw uh, uh, an established date for Age of History 3 finally got put out. Fucking gots be praised. That's fucking awesome. That makes me so happy. So yeah, I'm gonna buy that when it comes out if I have the money. If I don't have the money, then I'll figure something out. But yeah, I've run myself broke too. Next semester I'm gonna give my mom some of my money and have her hold on to it. Yeah. You know, well, I'm gonna have to pay rent and my phone bill too. So, I mean, there's always that. So, as it stands, holy shit, I'm sweating from all the guitar playing, dude. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, I do need to save my money better. Like my thing is like I'm sitting here thinking, right? I'm like, where did all my money go? And I mean, I want to say like $700 of it away. 'Cause, I mean, it's impossible for me to spend damn near $5,000. It's fucking crazy, right? But on the other hand, like I did spend a lot. I did spend a lot of it on video games and shit like that. And I mean, I bought House. You know, I bought House MD, the whole TV show, and that's fucking cool. I'm glad I did that. But yeah, I bought some video games, and then yeah, I spent my money very recklessly. It's a very bad decision. I cannot be trusted with finances as it stands. I do need to get better at that as I get older. After I finish my bachelor's degree, I'm gonna move out of my mother's house and you know, um, following a sequence of events because I am gonna have to start paying my loans back. But I mean, I have a lot of grants. I don't know why I have a lot of grants. But I mean, I do have a good portion of grants where I have this like money that if I graduate, I don't have to pay back, and I mean that's pretty fucking cool. So, and you know, I live in the university city, so I do get other benefits. You know, I get the Panther scholarship because University of Pittsburgh. And I live in the university city, like I said before, so that's cool. And being a commuter is nice. I don't get along with my classmates, but I get along with the professors. The professors are really cool. I've gotten to speak German, Spanish. I think it's very cool. Um, Once I get a little more comfortable, I know there are people from Brazil currently at the university, so I am going to try to speak some Portuguese and then some French. I don't know if there was an Italian flag up, but if I can meet some people from Italy, I mean, I'll pretty much be set there because I like German, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, French. Um, the oddball is, I guess there are two oddballs on their own. Like there's Swedish and Dutch, which I'm pretty good with both of them. But I'm good in different ways, and I haven't had any formal training, so and I haven't really had the chance to have many conversations in either of the languages. So it's hard for me to measure, but like yeah, it's weird own little subsector of conversation talking about. But those are the two oddballs. Ones I'm concerned about, but not as concerned as the other five languages. And then of course I have English. So I mean, the thing about English is I have to keep up. I have to keep up using the right conventions and the right the right diction. And or I think that's the word. Yeah, I think I have to. Yeah, diction. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm very I'm very pleased with how the whole language learning thing is going. The guy I talked to, he was from India. He studied at the Goethe Institute. He learned history. I think that's what he told me. Now this is all recollection from German, but um, he studied history in India at the Goethe Institute. Why the Goethe Institute in India is beyond me. It was never like a significant German-speaking population, but hey, I mean that's cool. Another guy to speak German with. Then there was a gentleman who lived in Österreich for a while, and I spoke German with him. He lived in Glatz. He's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting all these speakers of various different languages and practicing, getting better. I want to be fluent. I want to be fluent in all six of those languages, man. I mean, I already have English, but like I don't know. I'm always at a cusp of being like, yeah, I'm fluent in Spanish, or I'm fluent in German, and then like something comes and it knocks me off my pedestal of security, and I'm like, okay, I really got to work on this. But when it comes to most things, I have a fantastic time understanding and everything. It's just a matter of it's the little things you encounter. Even my English is very hard to understand sometimes because it's this collection of all these different dialects and everything because of a number of different factors. And I mean, there are people that have very different English to mine, and they have strong accents, but they're concise and they're clear, and they use concise, clear language to be understood. You know. So, I mean, there's always that. I'm very comfortable talking to the microphone today. That's fair. That's a nice development. I'm very glad I'm doing that. Yeah. So I need to interact with my classmates more. Debating on doing a master's program. That's a while in the future though. I need to get past the first fucking semester. You know. But yeah, those are the recent developments. Hearing from me, I don't know. I'm at a creative crossroads because I'm back into recording music again. That's really awesome. But I want to get with writing. I'm getting real creative again. I'm like writing for classes. It's reinvigorated this sort of creativity in me that was kind of dormant for a bit, in everything but music. But yeah, it's very interesting, and yeah, pulling out of my education course will make me a lot happier. I loathe going to that class, and when I drop it, I'll be fucking fine. But yeah, I'm really enthusiastic for all the requirements of my English major because like most of it is reading and shit, and I mean well, I don't really read fiction. I mean, this is easy for me. Poetry's the hard part because there are so many meanings and so many things that can be interpreted as other things, and so many allusions to things that I don't particularly know. A lot of the biblical ones, I lose track of, even though I am a pretty regular. I'm a pretty regular Bible reader. I'll delve into it. Um, I'll delve into it to read some scripture or whatever, because the Bible is chocked full of really great morals and really great stories. Like, there are two sides of the coin. There's the Bible is the great. It's either the greatest fiction piece ever assembled. It's like it references itself. It's very cool. It's very concise. There are a lot of really great stories, really great characters, and it's like grounded in a lot of reality. Right. That's if God doesn't exist. If God does exist, then it's the book to go by. So I think at least a rudimentary knowledge by most of the Western like civilizations. I think a rudimentary knowledge of the Holy Bible is very important, and I own it in two languages. So I've been reading the English one more often, but I do get into the German Bible pretty frequently, the Lutherbibel, and yeah, it's a very great language learning tool as well. But yeah, I mean, I love the Bible. I think it's a very great book, and I'm not religious myself, but yeah, I recognize how great the Bible is, and I mean, I have other religious texts in here. I'm looking for them actually, and I can't find them. Where the fuck are they? I have the Book of Mormon. So there it is. Yeah, the Book of Mormon says, another testament of Jesus Christ. So yeah, I have the Book of Mormon. I think it's very important. I need a Quran at some point. I need a Hebrew. I need I need a Hebrew, Arabic, English Quran. There was one that existed that I really liked, but alas, I could not obtain it. If I can find it after I get my other or when I get one of my refunds here in the future, I do need to get that. But yeah, most of my language books here are in great use. Like, I'm very delicate, but I do use them a good bit. Like I have Caesar's comments on the Gallic Wars, and his conventions are very interesting. Well, they're mostly interpretation, but like, yeah, it's a very nice read. It's a very nice read for me because it's chock full of military shit, and like, I think it's super cool. This might be a bad thing to say, but I'm gonna say it because I think Caesar is one of the greatest military leaders to idolize. Like, him, Napoleon, fucking Paul von Hindenburg. I'm trying to think of some British generals because I'm excluding British generals. William Tecumseh Sherman, Douglas MacArthur. Not MacArthur actually. Looking at MacArthur going fucking crazy, and during McCarthyism, I kind of have to stand like away from that. But Ike, fucking Dwight Eisenhower. Dwight Eisenhower is one of the greatest presidents ever. He's a very cool dude. But yeah, so yeah, I idolize Caesar. I idolize Octavianus as well, and that's Augustus. But yeah, it's very very cool. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to my English major. It's gonna be awesome, and yeah, here's hoping everything goes well. But as for now, that's all I have for you. Thank you for listening to another episode. I didn't want to take too long. I'll probably get to recording a longer episode one of these days within the following months, because I am really valuing my off time now, because I don't have a lot of classes, but I'm valuing my off time in that I'm just making sure that I'm staying caught up, especially after COVID. I'm still getting my feet settled, and I'm kind of sluggish with it, especially because I'm not a social butterfly. It is a very very tedious thing to do, but I mean, I love my work. I even like doing algebra to an extent. It's just very tedious and very difficult getting back into algebra after being away from mathematics all these years. But as it stands, that's all I have for you. Like I said, I'm Evan. Thanks for listening. Deuces, toodaloo, kangaroo. I said that for the first time the other day. It was very nice. Toodaloo kangaroo. Oh shit. Hold on. I thought of a fucking dad joke. Like, I came up with this on my own. I don't know if it's been said before, but it was a result of my own fucking thought process, right? So, fucking, why did the pie console the wedding cake? Because it was in tears. That's pretty good, isn't it? That's pretty fucking funny. You know, I had a little chuckle at that one myself. But all right, yeah, it does me in. See you guys. People don't watch this shit. Don't fucking see you guys, having you fucking moron.